It's 18 past 11 out, Sunshine FM. If you've made a New Year's resolution and you might be struggling with that, well, we've got a guy in today, Brad Everton, is going to give us a few clues on how we can best meet those resolutions in the new year. Brad is a psychologist. Brad, good morning.
Good morning, Cam, and thanks for having me.
Now, a lot of us make New Year's resolutions. I tend not to these days because I don't want to break them. But if you're really determined, how do you make sure you keep those resolutions?
There's three reasons that I share with people, Cam, in terms of keeping those resolutions. And in many respects, what they are, that they're goals. And one of the reasons that I encourage people to do is to have a strong reason why. And a strong reason why, in essence, is basically having an emotional reason as to why it is that you want. A big part around that too is I often remind people it's not if the obstacles and hurdles are thrown at you, it's when the obstacles are thrown at you, and that's when a strong reason why is so important.
Wouldn't there be emotional reason behind everything anyway?
There is, but there's also, you'll find when it comes to those, the stronger the emotional reason, the better. Okay. So for a lot of people, it might be a logical reason, and they want things because it's nice to have. There's not enough emotional connection to it.
So that could blow it for you.
That certainly can blow it, particularly when you are experiencing those obstacles and hurdles. If it's not a strong enough reason, and if you're doing it for reasons bigger than yourself. So when it comes to your goals, you might be wanting to set a goal in terms of accomplishing things, not just for yourself, but it's for your family. You'll find that you'll be more committed. You'll be more determined to accomplish that goal if there is a big, strong reason why.
Oh, okay. So the main things people said are get fit, go to the gym, lose weight, maybe a new job, move to a new town, those sorts of things. Are they easy to achieve, or, because I know the gym one, that's a tough one. Like I joined the gym the other day, bought 12 months membership, and the bank rang me up just because they thought my card might have been stolen. But that's another story. But gym, that's a toughie.
Oh, look, they're all big goals. And an important part or reason is people often also don't have a system. And if you have a system, and there are many systems out there. In my book on track parenting, I share a system, and I refer to it as the SMART goals formula. The SMART goals formula has been around for a while. It is an acronym, but the SMART goals is my adaptation to that Smarter Goals formula. And in essence, just to describe it very briefly, Cam, so with the acronym, the S in the Smarter Goals formula stands for specific. It must also be measurable. You do want it to be achievable. You definitely want to have an action plan around that as well. The R in the Smarter Goals is renounce or reduce. And in effect, I often say to people, to accomplish anything, there's a price to pay to get what you want. And
all that sweat and energy you lose at the gym.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And so we do need to know what the price it is that we want to pay. So there
might be a monetary price also, isn't there? Like, if you get the gym membership, you don't want to blow that, do you? So that could keep you going there.
It could be a monetary price. It could also be in terms of time. It could also be giving up on something. So if it might reducing the number of hours that you're watching TV. It might be spending less time on social media. That might be the price that you're prepared to pay to get what you want, which is a goal.
Less chocolate cake too, if you're on a diet.
Great example. It might be. But it's knowing the price and being prepared to pay the price.
Okay, so what happens when you waver? What do you do to reinforce that goal setting?
What I refer to that is as relapse. And there's a nice little model which I also share in my book on track parenting, and it's called the Stages of Change model. And in that model, it's a model that was developed by universities many years ago. But part of that model does stipulate that relapse is very normal. And the key thing around relapse is to recognize that I've had a relapse, I've gone back to the old behavior, and as opposed to sticking to the new behavior. The best thing that I say to people around that, Cam, is it's a bit like riding a bike. And if you fall off a bike, the best thing you can do when you do fall off the bike is to get back on and keep pedaling.
Yeah, or in the case of Jim, get a training partner. That always helps. So that's a good thing to do.
Definitely.
Trying to lose weight. Maybe get someone on the phone who can encourage you. Maybe, I'm not too sure. Does that work?
Training partners help. Making your goal public, that's another reason that will keep you on track. It's a big one. Make your goal public. For example, when I wrote my book, I shared that concept with friends and family and my clients. And you wouldn't believe it, over the 2.5 years that it took to write the book, I had people checking in on me constantly, and that made me accountable.
Okay, so you had the goal to write the book, so you had that incentive. What about writing little notes for yourself, reminders, putting photographs up of what the goal is that you want to achieve, putting your head on a slim body or something like that as a photograph, or writing a statement and putting it near your bathroom mirror so it's the first thing you see every day. Are they worthwhile doing?
Definitely, all of that works. Writing it down, I always encourage people to write their goals down. The concept that I share with people around that is, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. So keep it in a visible place. Another handy little tip is to type it up on a business card and then carry it with you. So if you've got it with you at all times, you're referring to it all the time. Another really good point is to put pictures up on a vision board. Vision boards work really well because it allows you to use the power of your imagination.
So if I write that up, you are not fat, you just have big stomach bones.
Always focus it on the positive. Always focus on what it is that you want, not on what you don't want.
All right.
And the power of self-talk, that's very important too. So catch yourself in terms of the power of self-talk. Make sure that your language is always positive and it's always focused on what it is that you do want.
Yeah, positive thinking, positive thought, and positive statements always work very well. Brad, we might have you back in a couple of weeks before the kids get back to school. What do you think?
I'd love to, Cam. Thank you for having me on 104.9. I really appreciate it.
Thanks. Brad Everton, psychologist on Sunshine FM, 25 past 11.